Greetings and good day. Today is June 13th, 2024, and it is the anniversary of the second apparition of Our Lady of Fatima. And I'm going to read a little bit from her memoirs, that is St. Lucia. So let's start, and it's a beautiful day today. The sun came out nice and bright. Good sign. We'll start with morning prayers. We'll spend a couple of minutes in contemplation on this special day as well. In nomine Dei matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Divine Family. So what we'll do is I'll read this memoir, and then we'll contemplate the story and the event, and then we can continue. The 13th of June, the feast of St. Anthony, was always a day of great festivities in our parish. My mother and my sisters, who knew how much I loved a festa, kept saying to me, quote, "We've yet to see if you leave the festa just to go to the covaderia and talk to that lady," unquote. On the day itself, nobody said a single word to me, insofar as I was concerned that they acted as if they were saying, "Leave her alone and we'll soon see what she'll do." I let out my flock at daybreak, intending to put them back in the pen at 9, go to Mass at 10, and after that go to the Cova da Iria. But the sun was no sooner up than my brother came to call me. He told me to go back home, as there were several people there wanting to speak to me. I found some women and men too who had come from such places as Minde, from around Tomar, Carrascos and Boleros, etc. They wished to accompany me to the Cova. I told them that it was early as yet and invited them to go with me to the 8 o'clock Mass. After that, I returned home. These good people waited for me out in the yard in the shade of our fig tree. Around 11 o'clock, I left home and called at my uncle's house, where Jacinta and Francisco were waiting for me. Then we set off for the Cova. As soon as Jacinta, Francisco, and I had finished praying the rosary, with a number of other people who were present, we saw once more the flash reflecting the light which was approaching, which we called lightning. The next moment, Our Lady was there on the holm oak, exactly the same as in May. "What do you want of me?" I asked. "I wish you to come here on the 13th of next month to pray the rosary every day and to learn to read. Later, I will tell you what I want." I asked for the cure of a sick person. If he is converted, he will be cured during the year. I would also like to ask you to take us to heaven. Yes, I will take Jacinta and Francisco soon, but you are to stay here some time longer. Deum Iesum Christum wishes to make use of you to make me known and loved. He wants to establish in the world devotion to my Immaculate Heart. Am I to stay here alone? I asked sadly. No, my daughter, are you suffering a great deal? Don't lose heart. I will never forsake you. My Immaculate Heart will be your refuge and the way that will lead you to God, the Trinitarian Theophany. As Deam Matronam Nostrae spoke these last words, she opened her hands, and for the second time, she communicated to us the rays of that same immense light. We saw ourselves in this light, as it were, immersed in the Trinitarian Theophany. Jacinto and Francisco seemed to be in that part of the light which rose towards heaven, and I in that which poured out on the earth. In the front of the palm of Deam Matronam Nostrae's right hand was a heart encircled by thorns which pierced it. We understood this was the Immaculate Heart of Deam Matronam Nostrae, outraged by the sins of humanity and seeking reparation. So let's take a moment and contemplate that. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves up and our sufferings up to heaven. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of God the graces, the Trinitarian Theophany, the graces which are necessary to us. O divine family, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress and my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because I have offended thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. When we contemplate this event, it's important to note those few people who were there waiting so soon after the first apparition. they had great faith, and they came from many towns, and they went to Mass, and then they followed the children. It's important to discern who to follow, and it's important to use Deum Matronam Nostrae as that guide. It was interesting also to note in her memoirs here that the light seemed to separate between the three. There's Jacinta and Francisco in the light that rose towards heaven, and this was before they had passed. And then the light that was on Lucia on the earth. And it seemed as though her suffering would be much more of an earthly suffering, including the imposter that replaced her. There must have been great suffering on Lucia's part, knowing this was happening, or maybe she didn't know, which would have been a blessing, but I think she could have known. Let us again contemplate this throughout the day and during Mass. And also those people who had sacrificed the great feast, which I'm sure was an event they were all looking forward to go out into the field, which they didn't know what to expect, but they went on faith. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hanc immaculatum hostiam, quam ego indignus famulus tuus offeritibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentiis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus sere pro omnibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficiet ad salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilite condidisti et mirabilis reformasti, da nobis peruis ad quae et vini mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortes, qui humanitatis nostrae, fieri dignatis est Pater Ceps, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem, salutaris tuam deprecantes clementium, utuces fetu divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito, suscipiam orate Deum Iesum Christum, et sic fiat sacrificium nostrum in conspecto tuo hodie, ut placiat tibi Dea matronam nostrae, et ab Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificit oblata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe, Sancta Trinitas Hanc Oblationem, quam tibi efferimus, a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et exscientionis, Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostrae, et a Papa Peter Sanctorum, et istorum et omnium sanctorum, ut illis proficiet ad honorem nobis autem ad salutem, et illi pro nobis intercedere dignentur in caelis, quorum memoriam agimus in tedis, per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meum aquestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudem et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, surusum corda habemus a Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitur clementissimi Mater et Pater, Deum Matron nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum nostrae, supplices, rogamus et petimus, uti acerta habeas et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium idibata. In primis quae tibi efferimus, pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodiri adonare et regere digneris toto orbiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum cituorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie, Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephine Mose, Clarette, Mindy, Mark Jr., Casey, Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Ann Bultink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Jenna, Lena, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, John, Kyle, the Dasco, Nye, Tafour, Began and Wolf families, and Alex Tafour. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind of ritual abuse, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange, with no usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders, Catholic leaders of a Catholic society, and to know what Catholic means. We ask that women come to understanding raising traditional Catholic families is a very high ideal and a necessity for sustaining a healthy society and a peaceful one. We ask that all pornography, the OnlyFans platform, and quote-unquote gay marriage be banned and stopped forever. We ask Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum with this Mass to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud, that you destroy Rome and the Vatican and transfer the authority, recognize the transfer which has already taken place of the Catholic Church to Portugal. We also ask you to release the souls controlled by the demons Lilith, Asmodeus, and transfer the souls from under the dominion of any Jew or Freemason that gives support to Israel. We pray for wisdom on how to prepare natural foods, learn natural healing methods, raise natural animals, and to share with our neighbor. We pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes, from our phones, from cell towers, and to eliminate all particle accelerators, gateways, and portals, and to eliminate all weather modification equipment, which goes against natural law. All these things we ask in accordance with the divine family's will in mind. Et omnium circumstantiam quorum tibi fides cognita est, et nota devotio proquibus tibi offerimus, vel qui tibi affrontox sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione anomanum suarum, pro spe salutis et inculamitatis suae, tibique redunt vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memoriam venerantes imprimis gloriosae semper Dei Mater Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum, Papae Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis praecibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae boni amor auxilio per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratum acceptabilem quae facere digneris ut nobis corpum et sanguinem fiat dilectissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur, accepit panem in sanctus ac venerabilis manus suas, et elevatis oculis in caelum ad Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit, fregit didique luminis sui dicens accipite et mandocat ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremoni est accipiens et hunc praeclarum calicem in sanctus ac venerabilis manus suas et in tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum consecravit didique luminis sui dicens accipite et vivite ex ea omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, aequotes cum qui feceritis meum facietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui sede plebs tua sancta justem Christum filium tuum, Deum nostrae tambe et beatae passiones nec non et ab infides resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosae ascensionis. Offerimus praeclare majestatis tuae de tuis donis ac datis, supra quae propitio ac sereno utu respiciere digneris. Supplices te rogamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iue haec perfere per manus tuum, ut quod ex hoc autaris participatione sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem, somserimus omni sanctificatione caelesti et gratia Rei per amor per in Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Martin Mannion, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum, quis gentibum locum refugieri lucis et pacis ut indulgeas deprecamur, per indum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas. Sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est ibi Deum Maternum omnipotente in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea Matronam Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea Matronam Nostrae, Materam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quaesimus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Deum Matronam Nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis, da propitius pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per indum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Ecce extio consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat accipientibus nobis in salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum Matronam Nostrae, quoperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum, tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis et universis malis, et fac me tue semper in haerere mandatis, et a te numquam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indignus sumere praesumo non mihi proveniat in judicium et condamnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi adtumentum mentis et corporis, et ad medelam percipiendam, qui vivis et regnas cum eum Deum Matronam Nostrae, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In panem caelestem accepim et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Dea Matronam Nostrae non sunt dignus, ut et sutetum meis nocte verbis, senabitur mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignus, ut et sutetum meis in tanto dic verbo senabitur mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignus, ut inter subjectum meum, sed tanto dic verbo senabitur mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum, pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi, calicem saitaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae, et ab inimicis meis salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum, custodiet anima meam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum, custodiet animam tuum. Quod ori sumpsimus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiamus et immunere temperae fiat nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sumpsit sanguis quam potavi ad haereat visceribus meis, et praesta utin me non remaniat, scelerum macula quem pura et sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, ite missa est. Deum gratia. Placeat tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium cor oculis tuae majestatis igninus obtuli tibi sit acceptabile mehique et omnibus, pro quibus irud obtuli sit miserante propitiare pecursum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. O Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deam Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Deam Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, gracias. So I will be heading out of town again this weekend. I will have Mass tomorrow morning on Free For All Friday. And Saturday, probably not. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off. And Sunday, if I can get back in time, it will be in the evening. So I appreciate your faithfulness and your steadfastness, your perseverance, and all those virtues. And we'll get to the virtues probably in the beginning of next week. All right, please go and sanctify all those who you meet, and have a great day.